Well, what's the crack? How are you getting on? You're all very welcome to episode 135 of Buckshot for Monday, the 3rd of February. How are you getting on? How's the weekend? You alright? You suffering after the big payday during last week? You're suffering, aren't you? You had a good old lash off it at the weekend. Fair fucking play to you. I'm going to mill through this. I'm heading out the door. So, don't forget to follow me on all the usual platforms. You're all very welcome on board if you're new. There is, of course, a platform service called Patreon, which allows you to contribute towards the podcast. But not just that. The Ramble Pod that comes out during the week. There's 2 more episodes of that. That's all. 2 more before we hit number 80. And then from then on, it's migrating. Ramble Pod is migrating over onto Patreon totally. Now, Buckshot will stay up all the same. It will stay up. So, and thank you to everybody who has contributed so far. Thank you very much to everybody who contributed to my wife's hair cutting. I know it sounds like you're paying for my wife's haircut, but she's actually chopping a foot off her hair for the Little Princess Trust. It's for people basically who lose their hair during treatment and all the rest of it. But the funds raised through the I Donate website will go to Friends of St. Luke's. So I'll throw the link in the old description there, and if you could sling a couple of dollars at it, that'd be amazing. Thank you very much to everybody who has so far. Of course, there is the usual platforms that you can follow me on. Tom O'Mahony Comedy will find me on everything. But there is, I started up one more so for my own aunt's Alzheimer's to know who the fuck I've had on. Over on Instagram, if you look for Buckshot Podcast, you can scroll back if you haven't listened to them all or you're new to it. Because some of those fucking apps, they freeze at 10. They're like, really, you want to see 10 more, do you? Rather than just scrolling through, stop being an asshole about it. But you can physically see the pictures of who's been up. Have a gander. Have a gander back through it. There's been plenty of interesting people. And that should be, that should get you covered. That should get you covered. If you want to send me a long form, which people have, buckshotpodcast@gmail.com, or if you're over on the chatty snaps, Tom Bear O'Mahony. And I do tend to reply. I don't use chatty snaps all that much, although the filters do fucking crack me up, and there's nothing funnier than putting a beard on my 5-month-old child. So, moving swiftly along into today's episode. My guest, Danny O'Brien, one of the hardest working people on the circuit at the minute. There isn't a corner of the earth this man hasn't gigged in. He has a comedy club himself in town called the Comedy Crunch. It's on 3 nights of the week. He is a gas-hooer, hard-working faker. And this one went at 100 miles an hour. Sit back and relax and enjoy the brilliant Danny O'Brien. Go, the road warrior himself. That needs to be in your next show, Danny O'Brien. the road warrior. There is no, I swear to God, I like to think I'm always giving up. You know the way I'm a pure, every Irish person is going, I'm so killed with the work. I'm so killed. And then you look at Danny, he's like, hey, what's the crack? So I'm in Kalau. And I've never even heard of that, Danny. I know, I'm doing 17 gigs here in 4 minutes. And then, sure, look at lads, I'll see you in Kerry on Tuesday.
Yeah. There's the Corolla Road Warriors. Maybe that could be like a new Discovery Channel. Yeah. Just like comedians in Corollas.
You can't, comedians in Corolla, you cannot break it.
That's our ice truck.
Oh my God. When you said you still had a Corolla, I was like, a pang of jealousy came over, like ex-girlfriend stuff. I was like, oh, is she class, is she? Come on, tell me more about it. Show me a picture of her.
1.4, cheap tax, yeah?
Say that.
It's
a 1.4 diesel, is it?
No. It's 1.4 petrol, but it's one of those ones that runs on fumes because there's nothing in it. There's no electrics.
I love that.
And do you know the old school farmer? There's no alloys on it, and all my hubcaps have come off. So I've got steel scratched rust wheels. It looks like a car they'd use in a cruise. No one lads would be doing handbrakes.
Yeah.
It looks like one of them.
That's because I'd one of them in college, that exact same car, and I swear to God, I think I gave 400 quid for it, and that car. This is college, 2001, and I've seen that car since.
Oh, yeah.
Tipping around.
That car will be at your funeral.
I know. It's just like...
It'll be like Transformers.
And the thing is...
It'll just slowly pull up to the grave.
A little tear dribbles out of it.
A little bit of wiper fluid just runs down the headlight.
Because there's no point in getting a fucking right good car being us. Because you just drive the wheels off.
My mate, right, I was doing a show last night in Whelan's. I was putting some of my sweet merch that I didn't sell back into my car. 2 of my mates.
Did they charge you to sell merch in Whelan's?
Nah, some places do.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's, you're only making a few quid on a few jumpers and tote bags and whatnot. and two of my mates are like married and they've loads of kids. They weren't drinking because they were, you know, it was midweek or whatever. So they were milling fags outside. Like that's their
just trying to get some buzz going.
That's their only voice. They were like two teenagers outside Spar, just horsing smokes into them. And I was just cracking up laughing.
Ball of chewing gum, then so the wife don't smell it off when they get back.
Eating leaves on the way back in. Quick spray of Lynx Africa, right? And I was putting the merch into the back of the Corolla. And like there was like a keg just rolled up against the side of the car, and then on the other side of my car there was like a roll of Blue Roll that someone had just nicked from a bar and just thrown it across the street. And Wow Burger wrappers, and this bus is missing. You know, like literally outside Whelan's, you park there. There's like space for a smart car, and that's it.
Yeah.
And like this bus is missing the car by millimeters. Like,
could you give up?
I'm just slowly pushing the wing mirror in, right, to get in, right. And I said, this is why you can't have nice things. Like, that's where I'm parking 6-7 nights a week sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not going to park. Have you ever parked in that laneway behind the Laughter Lounge?
Ah, stop.
It's like Gotham. When Batman does a legger.
There'd be no surprise if I immediately got murdered at any point.
It's the most murdery lane.
Yeah, it's the murderiest lane ever.
Like, do I want to risk getting murdered? But the parking is free, and it's so dangerous that no one's going to message your car.
Well, you come into the Laughter Lounge pumped. You're like, hey guys, what's the crack? You're like, you okay? You know, I got away with it again.
You just got chased. You feel like Tony Robbins coming in. You're like, so motivated. Oh, it's gas.
So in the last month, where were you?
So we're at the end of January now. I have been, in this month, I've been in Morocco. I've been in London twice. I've been in Dubai. I've been in Galway, I've been in Westport, I've been in Ennis, I've been in Dublin, and now I'm going back to the West today, and then I'll be back again to Dublin. To be honest with you, this month has felt like a year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, remember when I was in Dubai last year? Like, that was 2 weeks ago.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And how do you contain the airport rage? Like,
it's all right. I like traveling with Carl Spain.
That's what I mean. Like.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said airport rage.
Just say his name.
Yeah.
But he's we some cracked in fairness. Noise cancelling. Do you know what's the two best investments if you are on the road a lot? The two best things you could ever spend money on. Like obviously if you're in your car, just podcasts and all that stuff are brilliant. This if you're doing loads of traveling. An iPad and noise cancelling headphones. And they're not for the long haul flights, they're for the scaldy Ryanairs. The ones where you can block out the announcements or some absolute mentaler beside you with a chew and a sandwich going, have you been to Liverpool before? And you're just going, every time. I have never sat beside anyone good looking or sound in probably 20 years of travelling. I never look out. You never get some like, sound or if you do, or if you sit beside someone really attractive, you're like, oh my God, they're so attractive. And then they'll just, they're born again Christian. Or a
Drogheda accent comes out.
How do you know? Do you want half my style now? Do you want a style now?
Fucking hell. But we've been, Jesus Christ, we've done a lot of fucking fun, weird shit together. We still get, man, we've had some weird gigs we ran together at times, didn't we?
Man, I thought about, when I was driving here to meet you, I thought about that time. All the things that people don't know about in comedy, they only see the picture of you on stage. Great night.
Great night, thanks guys.
Like the last time I was in this neck of the woods was when I was doing Wheatfield Prison, which is about 10 minutes from where we are now, with one of the worst hangovers of my life. 14 prisoners were meant to be at the gig. Only 9 were let because someone robbed a football. That's the truth. Someone robbed a ball and wouldn't give it back. So 6 of the lads got a ban or whatever and weren't allowed to come to the comedy gig.
How are you supposed to reform people when you're treating them like fucking 2-year-olds?
And also, the funniest thing about it, like, there's lads coming in with black eyes and crutches and all. And the only time I've seen a rougher room was the one time I picked up my mother and my granny from the ferry.
Yeah, we know who travels on the ferry.
Have you ever picked up
once? I've been on the fucking ferry when I lost my fucking passport in Liverpool.
I've done it twice because I'd no money years ago. I couldn't get over to England. The flights were more than what I was going to get for the gig, so my only option was to get the ferry. And I was like, oh, it'll be fine. It'll be nice. I'll do a bit of work on the ferry. I'll do some work on my laptop. And then you're like, end of the world. You're sleeping with your laptop lying face down with a hoodie pulled over you. Like,
I know. I complain about airports and all the rest, but fuck me. There is not like the ferry.
This is the hierarchy of horrendousness, right? The car is grand because you can chat to people.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll have someone with you if you're giving someone a lift or anything like that. Flights are doable. The airport's not ideal, but like the ferry is like it's bottom of the rung. Like.
It really, yeah. Oh, sweet suffering, fucking Jesus Christ.
I remember him actually. My old agent Duck. I drove a motorbike to the Edinburgh Fringe, and I'd been on the piss for 4 days at the Vodafone Festival, and like, it was probably the stupidest idea ever. And you know when you're like, I was like, I have to drive a motorbike,
and it wasn't even a big fat cruiser either. Sure, it wasn't. It was a motorbike.
Old
yeah,
tractor, 1992, 200 kilo Honda Nighthawk, and yeah, with no ignition in it. There's no key in it. Like you pull like a little peg behind the light to start it. Like I can't even. It was like a farm bike. Do you know what I mean? It was like an old farmer's bike that would just be...
The dog would sit in the back of it with you.
Exactly it. So Duck meets me, and I had to follow him because I had no GPS. I had to follow him from Dublin to Edinburgh, 13 hours with a 4-day hangover. And he's just like milling cans of Monster, and he messed up his insurance, so he had to rent a Hertz rent-a-van with all foil arms and hogs props in the back and loads of other stuff. Right, I had to put a jerry can of petrol in the back because it was the only way I could guarantee I could get there. Do you know what I mean? To top up. And then he's there going, this van goes on fire, you're paying for it. There's 10 grand's worth of props in this, right? So there's like a jerry can full of petrol, all these props. I had to follow the van right behind him on the bike.
Your anxiety levels through the roof.
He's just milling smokes the whole way. So I'm on the bike behind him trying to keep up, and he's just flicking smokes at me like some kind of Irish James Bond film. And I'm like, just like dodging like rollies.
Dance for me, boy.
Yeah, rollies coming at my face on the M50. And then we get to Belfast. He takes a turn. He wouldn't indicate or anything. He just turned. Do you know what I mean?
Duck strikes me as a fellow who wouldn't indicate.
No, Duck, he doesn't. But anyway, the funniest thing ever, it was, I'm not laughing at this, but it was all around the time of the ISIS attacks. It was two Edinburghs ago, right? So there'd been the London attacks, and there was like the attacks in Paris. So everything was on high alert all over Europe, particularly in Ireland and the UK. Ferries, airports, the whole lot. We pulled up to the ferry port in Belfast, and we were early, right? And I was demented, like absolutely head wrecked. I drive behind him on the motorbike, and Duck pulled up to the little hatch or whatever, and the guy goes, "How you doing?" And I had a full face motorbike helmet on, right? And usually you take it off. So Duck goes up the front of me, and he goes, "Hell yeah." And he shows him the ticket or whatever, and he goes, "What's in the van?" It's a Hertz rent-a-van. Like it looked like a terrorist van. He's like, a movie. And Duck goes, "There's a load of immigrants in the back." Right? And your man, like, just doesn't laugh, but he doesn't get angry either. And he just kind of breathes out his nose and just goes, "Go on." Right?
Yeah.
Just lets him through. I pull up on a motorbike, like, you know, Captain Fenian with my Cork Reg motorbike with tricolours on it because I was bringing it to the Edinburgh Festival, you know, Irish comedy, blah, blah, blah. But I looked like a Republican on tour, you know.
Your bike had been nearly pre the fucking Good Friday Agreement.
Yeah, it was all covered in, yeah. I was only short of having like some kind of like, you know, montage of Brian Boru on the side, like.
It's Bobby Sands fuck slap.
Cork Reg 92C 8080.
1916.
Yeah, I went up and I had a full face helmet on, and I went to take the helmet off, and he just didn't bother. And I went to show him my passport, and he just didn't take it. He just took a scan ticket. So I was like, you couldn't see the reg because it was covered in muck. There's no front reg because it's a motorbike. He just takes my printed barcode, looks at it, and just lets me through.
So you went into like absolutely no
I'd
off-grid.
I'd saddlebags on the bike and everything. I'd like stuff all over it. Like it looked like it was packed up to blow. Like
Jesus Christ, because they fucking went through me. The last time I went through there, they went through me for a fucking shortcut. Like they went all over the fucking car.
Really?
Yeah.
Rory O'Hanlon has a great bit, and I really love it.
Rory looks like he's in the red. He's got the head straight off the red.
He was coming back, I think, from somewhere. He must have been Manchester or Liverpool. Some woman go up to the dude in the high vis. He goes, "Have you got a passport?" She goes, "No." And he goes, "Right. Have you got a driving license?" She goes, "No." And he goes, "Right. Go on." It's not Ireland in a nutshell.
That's fucking beautiful.
I couldn't be arsed with the paperwork. It's amazing.
That is fucking beautiful. Holy sweet suffering Jesus. Come here. And were you gigging in Morocco, or was it the drug tour? Or was it an actual holiday?
Yeah,
you never take holidays.
I know. I took a break. I actually flew on Stevens' day, believe it or not.
Did you?
So on Stevens' night, I was in Morocco. And it was bizarre, and it's mad. If you've never been to Marrakesh, it's like Star Wars. Like I was so stressed out on the road all last year. I was like, right, I have a bit of a window here, and if I don't do something, you'll just end up on the scoop in Dublin, or you know that window between Christmas and New Year's. It's just carnage. It's pure pints. You know what I mean? So I said, I'm not doing that. And the show was kind of about that crack of giving up stuff. And I said, I'm going to do something. So I went to Morocco, went to Marrakesh, and it was. I was like, this is going to be nice, relaxing. It couldn't be more stressful.
Was it?
Like, I've travelled all over Asia. Marrakesh it's like Star Wars mixed with Gladiator, is the only way I can describe it.
Right, yeah,
like,
yeah.
There's monkeys on chains, lads, everyone just drives through these narrow laneways.
The Legion.
Yeah, but lads are like driving motorbikes into it. Like, it doesn't matter if there's tourists. Everyone's booting it. Horse and carts with oranges falling off, and like lads skidding on the oranges and coming off. It's mayhem.
I suppose, you see, if you lived a boring life, that would be a good. You're not boring life, but you know what I mean. If you were tapping away on a computer and had no stress, super interesting. But you were already you needed to go.
I was already stressed.
You needed
out.
to be in the middle of a forest.
That was just a
licking a tree. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I needed to take that. What's the name of that stuff? I needed to take like DMT in Peru and lie in a tent with a shaman for 2 days,
just massaging your back.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought of that, but I was thinking about this on the way here. We were in Edinburgh about 5 years ago or whatever it was, and we were trying to stick up posters and stuff. Money to sell the show, and the chipper.
Oh, I still to this that day the horror of that.
I started thinking about it on the way here.
I mean, I one of the nights you came to my show, I went, I have to tell this story because Danny's in the room, and it got a great kick because it was so vile.
She's still there. I see her every year. I'm too scared to go in because my venue is in the Underbelly.
Do you want to tell the story? Because it was it creeped me out. No.
About 5 years ago, like, you've no money, like all your money goes into your show and the venues and like any stuff for extra posters or anything like that. For anyone listening to this, Edinburgh absolutely hemorrhages it financially. Like, especially
as a business decision, it's a terrible idea.
It is. Like, I'm only making a bit of money there in the last 2 years, and you do it to get your show in shape. It's boot camp for your show. That's essentially what it is. But even when you do make a bit of money, if you break down the amount of time versus what you get, like, you're talking like probably a third of minimum wage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're basically doing 13 to 16 hour days for about 26 days in a row.
Yeah.
And you're doing anything from 70 to 100 gigs. Like, it's an absolute, it's a gauntlet, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of comics moan and they're like, oh, why would I go to Edinburgh and lose 10 grand? You won't lose 10, but you will if you're a pleb and you let people take 10 grand off you. But if you put the work in, you do get something out of it. And there's no way you can go and gig for 80 gigs for 26 days and not come back a better comic. You're going to be, even if you did the exact same set for 26 days, that set is going to develop. Of course, your stage presence and your delivery and your confidence, everything will just get better. But anyway, me and Tom were trying to get posters up to kind of, because we don't have no money. Like, so you're just sticking up posters anywhere you can. We went into the chipper down the end of the Cowgate. It's down the end of a road called Candlemaker Row. If you've ever been to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival,
it sounds far more magical than it actually is. Like, it is a nice spot, but Candlemaker Row down in the Cowgate.
No, that's why I'm building it up for what it is. I'm setting a scene that is absolutely ludicrous. But we went into this chipper and it was like, the grease. I just remember the grease. Like, there's like 10 Mars bars on the fry at the same time. Lads queuing up, going, do you remember I got a haggis out of there one time? The deep fried haggis.
Yeah, do you remember that?
One of the worst things I've ever done in my life is I was so hungover and so broken. It was that year I dropped the deep fried haggis on the ground in the Cowgate. And I picked it up and I just kept going.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You fucking savage.
I did. It was
because you gave me shit for getting one outside. We were going into your gig. And
I remember because you were steamed.
I was steaming. I was going, this is the best idea ever. Danny was like, Tom, that is just horror on a fuck. So you got one yourself and dropped it.
Yeah, and it was like a wombat. I dropped. It was like the one's like a black pudding and they deep fry it. It's like a stick.
Yeah,
it's like a fucking deep fried dildo.
It's like a weird fucking lolly of fucking haggis and pig intestines and batter.
It's basically like a black and white pudding hybrid. Deep fried and battered.
Yeah.
Like, and you imagine like an entire black. You get an entire black pudding. They give you where the fuck else in the world can you get an entire deep fried black pudding as a fucking snack?
And not an apple or a fucking carrot to be found in that whole city. Like,
it's like fucking back in the piracy days. Like, there's lads are getting like diseases, like people getting smallpox.
I got fucking pleurisy and fucking all three of my teeth fell out from the.
I went into this chipper anyway and we said, how you doing? Do you mind if we stick a poster up? He says, you're not allowed to put any poster. Like, this woman was, I don't want to be harsh, but she was literally Scottish jabbing on it. She was just sitting there. She was the mama.
Well, no, we went in first, and what was weird, there was a skinny one, and you asked her, and she just kind of, she didn't even give you a proper answer. She just nodded
she nodded to the oracle. And your one was sitting down frying chips.
Yeah. I never forget she had a Nokia 3210 and she was playing Snake, as well as frying sitting down.
Yeah.
And when she...
Alright. It's like, if you're in Edinburgh, go into this chipper. Like, you won't find it. It will find you.
Do you know what you'll do? You'll come back out. If you are sober and in good health, you'll come back out going, I will never eat bad again.
Yeah.
It'll actually put you on the straight and narrow.
You need to hit rock bottom.
Yeah.
Right? And I went in, and so we were like, hey, I'm going to put some posters up, and your one just goes, you're not allowed to put any posters up here. And I pointed at the wall, and I said, the Ladyboys Bangkok had their posters
there was a Ladyboy
up.
Bangkok.
And I said, there's Ladyboy posters up.
Yeah.
And then she goes, the Ladyboys give us free tickets. And I said, well, I'll give you free tickets. Right?
Meanwhile, I'm loving this weirdness, to be honest, 'cause I'm just hanging around the background.
He's like, Tom's taking the piss a little bit about the whole situation. And then she just turns around and goes, show us your belly.
That was, I will take that to my grave. That phrase, show us your belly.
I'm not even in good shape. Like, I'm in 10 times better shape now than I was
to be fair,
then.
for a comedian, you're ripped. You're fucking shredded for a comedian. You were like...
Being under average fitness is like winning Mr. Universe.
You're Thor.
In comedy.
You're essentially one of the Hemsworths. If you
Is there no one else? But,
are you not entertained?
I just slowly
pulled
up my t-shirt.
But there was the shakes. You're like, this can't be happening. This moment, because you had an existential crisis at that moment.
It was awful.
And I loved
I felt cheap doing it.
And she stared. She didn't even break eye contact with your belly.
I just pulled it up, and I've just got like a little hairy belly button. Like, I don't know what she's even looking at. It's not like it's in Step Brothers where I'm pulling up my top and it's like this shredded mahogany, and like, I haven't eaten a carb since 2006. You know? It's not like that. I literally just pulled it up, and she just went, and then just kind of give me a, that'll do,
that'll
pig.
do, yeah.
That'll
yeah.
do, pig.
She kind of nearly sniffed as well. I'll just sniff it ever so slightly.
And I slowly pulled it down, put my poster up. Then the next day, I remember walking past, and the poster was gone.
And I remember saying to you, I goes, Danny, because you're like, that cunt, she fucked my poster after all that. She fucked my poster in the bin. And I was like, Danny, that's sellotape to the inside of her sweaty polo shirt. And every so often she gives it a sniff. Just, that'll do, Danny.
That'll do, wee man.
And this wasn't even late in the night or anything, you know, because you
think
think
7 o'clock.
This is an mid-evening kind of a caper, like.
Do you know what, like, you know, I'm in city centre all the time, and I live in Dublin, and like, you see some mad rough heads. Like, I used to be a social care worker, and I've probably seen as, you know, as tough as it kind of gets in human nature in Ireland. But I'll tell you one thing, and if there's Scots listening to this as well, I don't think you'll even disagree with me. I don't think there's anything rougher than a rough Scot.
Yeah,
like,
I can't think. Unless it's like some fucking Kurdistan fucking place that we've never heard of.
But it's a different kind of rough.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Those fellas don't know any better. They're living in a mountain, you know what I mean?
They're just, do you know what it was like? Indian ink dots. Yeah. just like, alright. There was this pub in Edinburgh called The Grapes, and myself, Rory, and someone else, Trevor Brown, years ago, had a flat in for the Edinburgh Fringe, and it was right beside
The Grapes.
It was right beside The Grapes.
Hemorrhoids.
And I've never seen anything like it in my life. It was just God's waiting room.
Yeah.
Like, just... I remember going in one time, and it was like when he in Train Spotting when he goes into the bookies. That was just like,
I knew the perfect summation of because you look at these people, you go, how did you end up there?
Yeah.
How the fuck did you end up there? Like, and I'll never forget myself and Natasha were sitting in a bar. I was doing, where's that gigging for The Stand? I think in Glasgow.
Yeah.
And we went, and it was like a Witherspoonsy style bar. It wasn't rough, but it certainly wasn't. It was bleak. And I looked over and
do you want another shot for 20p?
And yeah, you know those ones where they don't, because they won't pay the IMRO license essentially, so there's no music, there's no telly, it's just people talking.
All you can hear is the noise of the pokey machine in the corner.
Yeah. But I looked over and his child can't be more than 4 or 5 months in a pram, right?
Drinking a pint.
No, this woman was just vehemently shoving onion rings in the baby's face. I'm just like, no, even I know you don't fucking do that.
No teeth in the kid.
No, the child is just sucking away on an onion ring, like. They're teeth in onion rings.
You're gonna go fuck, kid.
Living my best life. Do you know,
I saw someone once, this is really bad, but I saw someone once on a bus when I was in college, when I was about 19. Do you remember that? I don't even know if you can buy this anymore. Do you remember that? It used to be able to buy it in a 3 litre. It was called Country Spring.
With the big wide neck.
Yeah,
yeah.
like,
you could get a marshmallow flavoured one. Do you remember that? It was like American lemonade.
It was like TK Maxx on meth.
You could stick fucking plasterboard to a wall with this stuff. It was that sticky.
It was like, it came in like orange. The cola was like, I remember seeing lads I grew up with like used to use it for putting diesel in. Because
it's 3 litres.
But you'd also get the nozzle at the back.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a woman on a bus pouring Country Spring cola into a bottle for her
baby bottle.
Into a baby bottle.
Oh my fucking
day! He loves his bottle.
He loves a bit of his stuff, man.
The kid like takes little something. He's like, bing! Like he's just took a load of MDMA. He's like, bing! Like the kid doesn't even have teeth. Give him a chance.
Jesus.
He's gonna lose his teeth before he gets them.
Because even our fella, like at the minute, he's still on the milk, and now we're moving him to the grub a bit now. Like, but when I say grub, it's like a pasty kind of stuff. But you walk in and and you're eating something, and
you're not gonna slam a load of pop rocks into his mouth.
Just go throw him down and
like fireworks.
TK lemonade. Here, knock yourself out. But it's like, I don't know how you make the jump. Do you just go, fuck making this milk shit? But it is because, like, you're a social worker, man. I know you couldn't even tell me most of the stories working with people, but it was just like the things you had, to keep these lads' minds occupied. The lads, and a lot of them would have had rough fucking upbringing.
Man, you don't. The thing is,
you used to take them fishing and everything.
I've been guilty of this as well, man. We all judge. Like, let's be straight up about it. And a lot of people in Dublin, I was guilty of this for a long time. We see people going, "Oh, fuck's sake. Look at your man over there, annoying people, begging, fucking heroin addict, blah, 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 fucking junkies, da-da-da-da-da." But to be honest with you, man, when I worked in that for a while, I'm not getting preachy on this, but no one wants to be a junkie. No one wants to be a junkie, right? And in the service that I worked in, over 90% of the people I worked with, male and female, had been sexually assaulted, and most of the men in there were sexually assaulted by clergy or Christian brothers. And 90% of them, and that's something that people don't know anything about. And there's a reason at all. And there's loads of different social issues.
Yeah.
There's loads of elements going on. There's addiction, there's mental health, but everyone is doing heroin for a reason. They're not doing it for the buzz. Like, you do heroin or anything like that, you get a buzz the first 3-4 times out of it. After that, heroin is maintenance.
Yeah.
So the only reason you use is to stop yourself getting sick, because the sickness is what drives addiction. So the reason people rob or they mug or they do this, that, and the other, they start getting heroin sick, right? So they start like vomiting, like you get the runs. You're like, it's like the worst.
Train spot.
Yeah, you literally, it's delirium tremens. So to stop that sickness, they're like, I need to get a fix. So if people think, oh, I've got this hunger to use so I can get high, and it's like train spotting. It's not. It's just, I have to use or I'm going to die. I feel so sick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, what an existence that is, man. Like, imagine that's your life.
Fuck.
You know what I mean? So, and like, it's a huge problem. And like, I know people have been, people have been mugged and all that kind of stuff, and it's really shit. But it's a horrendous situation for people to be in. I wouldn't wish it on anyone, to be honest with you.
Is it getting any better, do you think?
It's getting worse.
Is it?
It's horrific, man. It's an epidemic.
The towns around Ireland now.
Well, we've a rental crisis as well, man, and the crack as well. Like, we've moved up, and you've helped me move gaff and vice versa, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, my rent is, it's the most expensive shower I take a month. I've been home for about a week this month, but you have to live somewhere.
Yeah.
But I'm working, and I'm lucky enough to have an apartment that I rent on my own, and I work my arse off to pay for it. But like, where do you live, man? Yeah, and if you can't work, where are they going to live? If you're homeless, no one's going to give you a flat. Are you joking me?
I was talking with somebody recently, and they were Munich.
Yeah.
Natasha's brother now lives in Munich. He's going, fuck, it's steep enough around here, like. And he was explaining to me, I was like, man, just think, you were here. You remember?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And I was like, just remember. And he goes, oh yeah, valid point actually. But what they have in Munich is not everything, like here, everything is at 9,000 fucking revs.
Yeah.
House prices, fucking everything is.
Yeah.
Whereas he was saying like, yeah, he's like, he's happy to live where the Hooers live, basically. There's a lot of brothels around it. But he says, I'm a single bloke living by myself, and he's getting it at quite literally half the price you could get the cheapest in Dublin city centre for.
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And he says, you can shop up the road you could do your week's shopping for fucking 45 quid. Whereas that is not the option in Dublin.
Yeah.
It's just not the
Well, do
option.
you remember years ago, man, like even, let's say 10 years ago, if you lived in like Rathmines, for example, it was always a bit cheaper. Or if you want to live out in Tala, rent would always be much cheaper. Now, an apartment is $2,000 anywhere.
Yeah.
And like 45% of the government are landlords.
Yeah.
So, of course, they're not going to change it.
Not at
Because
all.
they're going to look after themselves. Like, I'm trying to buy somewhere at the moment. And, I'll probably be working for 3 years non-stop to make that happen. And I'll probably still get told to fuck off by the bank.
Yeah.
And, like, I've been paying rent since I was 19. Earlier, man, Jesus, I've been paying rent since I was 17. And I've never missed a rent payment. So I'm paying rent for going on fucking 20 years.
Yeah.
And
That should be proof enough, like.
but like say if I get a gaff and my mortgage is 900 quid and I'll go, well, my rent at the moment is 1,400 quid.
Yeah.
And they'll go,
Yeah, but.
and I'm like, do the maths.
I can't.
What the fuck is
we
this?
were only looking at it the other
Go
day.
fuck yourself,
There's-
like, you cunt.
This is only, and this is like the insanity of it. Like in my mid-20s, they just threw a mortgage at me.
Yeah.
It's like, here you go.
Giving mortgages
And right
to
now-
fucking 4-year-olds.
And right now it's like, but you work for yourself. I'm like, yeah, but I'm still here.
Man,
I haven't
like-
died of hunger, and I'm able to rent a
I make
fucking
more
place.
fucking money. Like, I worked my whole life and I had real jobs for years. And, like, your income is up and down and that, like,
Yeah.
it's the way it spikes. But you make more money now and it's more consistent.
Yeah.
Don't take time off. You don't get sick. You don't take sick days. Surely on paper, like,
You're the best fucking. You're the
yeah,
best. and best,
but they're like, nah, it's too much risk, But like,
But it's taken out of our hands too, and as you said, it's taken out of our hands because 45% of politicians are landlords.
Yeah.
It's taken out of our hands because the
and
banks.
the amount of tax that it generates and stuff as well. And like, they've got
Yeah.
there's new legislation that come in. You can only increase it by 4%, and that's twofold because what a lot of landlords are doing is they're increasing it where they would be sound and they might leave the rent as
Yeah.
it is. Now they're going, nah, well, if we can only put it up 4%, then it's going up 4% every year. So I'm like, right, so my rent's going to go up 40% in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So I'm literally trying to work myself out of my apartment.
Yeah.
That's what I'm up to now.
Yeah.
So I can rent and I can Airbnb my gaff when I'm on tour and all that kind of stuff, But for anyone who's got
Sure,
kids,
they're trying to get rid of Airbnb now. Like.
yeah, but they're fucking pricks. Like, you know what I mean? But for anyone who, like, you've a nipper and people who have kids and stuff like that and dependents. I'm on my own. I'm not in a relationship. I'm not married, and I don't have a kid. I can be selfish. I can
Yeah.
work and I can
Yeah,
save
yeah.
and I can do every gig. I can take a phone
Yeah.
call. I can go to England. I can go wherever I need to go to do the work. But if you don't have that option, man, what do you do?
Yeah.
Like, if you're working in a job and you're just covering your stuff and then your kid gets sick or your partner isn't able to work, what the fuck do you do?
Yeah, I mean, there's I've met a few people who've just pulled. I remember we went out to this place in Leitrim for a weekend. It was last year, and they were a couple. They pulled out of a rat race in the UK. They were in London,
Yeah.
and basically went, no, fuck this, and they bought quite literally. You couldn't put anything on it. They built an old cottage on it. It was a hill. They dug it out by hand and basically built yurts and they built a hobbit house.
Man,
And
that's Shane. I met Shane Brown. He used to comedy. He's doing that. He's looking to do that.
He
in
moved up the north.
Yeah,
And
he's on the border. Green Diesel.
He's fucking. I was only talking with fucking Geddes was down the other night, came ripping down in his Merc, like, I said, is that petrol or diesel? Well, petrol is cheaper up there, but just he was giving out about he was talking about the next car he needs to get and all the rest of it. But it was just the level of you walk around the north and even you see 17-year-old young ones driving SRI fucking weapons.
Yeah.
Because their tax system doesn't, like, a car is half the price up there.
Yeah, it's
quite literally
insane.
half the
And
fucking price.
You can get a car, you can get a brand new Jammer, and your insurance is cheap for £100 a month.
Do you know how much? I was looking at getting just looking at it. I'm not going to get one because the taxation would be ridiculous. But it was an Audi Allroad.
Wow, yeah.
And I just fucking love them, right?
Yeah.
And 2.7, of course. Forget about it.
Yeah.
You're looking at fucking 2,500 on tax.
Yeah.
I just to get his.
Greta Thunberg's arm falls.
I saw a great one. I saw a fucking great one. Somebody had a big fucking massive fucking tailpipe sticking out.
I saw that.
Did you see-
Was that with the eyes?
Yeah, and Greta's eyes just
Or
pumped
the
smoke.
lights? It was a skyline. It was a skyline, and her eyes.
Yeah,
were the
yeah,
lights.
yeah.
I saw that. Yeah.
But yeah, he was saying like tax up the north for a 2.7 all-road, maybe a 2007, 2008 one, the really good fucking engine one, would be about 300 quid, 290.
Get the fuck.
Yeah, I nearly got sick all over the fucking
That's
car.
what my Corollas is.
Yeah.
Mine's like nearly 400 quid.
Yeah.
Fuck me, man.
Yeah.
See, Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm just gonna keep. I nearly like last year. I was like, I want to get a nice car. 'Cause you're on the road so much, man. You get pain in your arse.
Yeah,
being in the car.
there is that
Feel
trade
a
off.
bit shit,
Yeah,
you know. But then you have to just stay strong and go. Your head would be melted.
Yeah.
Like I remember getting my wing mirror kicked off one time outside a pub because it was a fight and I had this Focus and I actually sold the Focus to Sean from Foil Arms and Hog.
I remember that Focus.
It was a great car, but it was really heavy on juice. I should have kept it in hindsight, but anyway. And my remember it was like 400 quid to get the wing mirror fixed. You know what I mean? Couldn't claim it off my insurance, right?
Because it's probably a 400 fucking excess on your fucking insurance.
Yeah, exactly. And you're just like, so, you know, I remember I actually read an article last year about that the biggest way that you can possibly waste money is with a car. Like it's literally 40 grand that you'll lose. Because if you buy a 40 grand Jammer, by the time you drive out, that's already gone down to 30. Yeah. Like, like there's great deals and stuff, but I'm like, if you have a really nice car and you're parking in the middle of, like, if you're in, you know, whatever, Clonmel on a Saturday night, someone's going to smash your car with their door. Yeah. Every time I go to my car, there's a new injury on it.
There's one or two on this that I didn't put on it, just from fucking parking up. Like,
just whatever.
Trolleys.
Yeah, trolleys, buggies, other cars, and like your head would be melted. Like if you have a nice car and then there's a big massive scrape down the side of it, you then have to bring that to the body shop. You have to get it fixed. You have to get it smoothed over. You have to get it resprayed. Your whole life is going to be, something's after going now with the thing inside. It's the internal thing in the chip. I just couldn't be fucked.
The only people that ever do well on cars, and this is just going to wind you up, is ludicrously rich people who can buy rare supercars and stuff like that.
Of course.
I was in one. Do you remember I used to do the Ferrari thing?
Yeah.
I was in one of the days in the garage, and I was looking, and it was a 360, but I knew it was a rare one. It was like the CS one or whatever. Yeah. It was like 001 on the VIN plate or whatever. Oh, I went, who the fuck owns that? And he goes, it's one of JP McManus's investment. He goes, that won't see a mile. He'll put that in its own little container area. He says that car, he's after getting for a steal at 240,000. He says that could be worth maybe 700,000 by the end of the year.
Wow,
blue chip.
So they basically buy them like they're just commodities.
Yeah, commodities. You know they don't buy them to drive them and stuff.
Yeah. There's like I don't know. I'm considering buying. I've got my eye on an M3 that's absolutely lethal that I might be able to.
That'll be robbed in 2 seconds, on you.
Yeah,
they have robbery written all over.
I know, but it's I might be able to buy it and flip it. But then for the year, I'm actually considering if I do buy it, I'd nearly have to just leave it at home and just use the Corolla for town gigs. Honestly, can you do that? You can't be insured. Can you have two cars? Can you be insured on both though?
You can, but you'll fucking pay for it.
Really?
Like. Yeah, you'll pay for it. Like,
can you not be like, you know the way I've got that excess thing in my insurance where if you drive someone else's car, you can drive it once you have permission.
You may have to register to your mother because I had two cars for a while and I couldn't actually whatever policy I had, I couldn't jump from one to the other. I had to fucking it was weird.
Why not? Like.
The girl couldn't answer me. She was very polite, but she couldn't answer me. But basically, I said, if I turn around and register this to my mother-in-law right now, she goes, yeah. She goes, you can jump in that car and drive it for 3 days on your policy.
Oh, do you know what to do? I'll register to my granny. She's off the road.
There you go.
There you go, Chrissy.
Those are stylish sunnies.
They're nice, aren't they?
They are fair stylish. I like them now.
It's only because I'm so tired.
But you're stylish though, aren't you? Like you would be. You know style at the very least. Like.
Danny O'Brien, I know style.
I'm literally
wearing an Adidas zip top here. We'll put a picture up on the gram afterwards, but I look like a fucking extra from Love Hate. Like
I think
there's your man who shot the cat.
If you shaved the head right now and you were smoking a fag backwards, and we put on some fucking schlav music, and you're down on the crouch because you've got the Adidas tracksuit, the black. Jeez, no, you need Adidas trainers. I might just start flossing. I love TikTok.
I hate flossing. It drives me not dentally.
Not dentally, but the dance move.
I'm just like cringing when I see adults. Even when they're doing it ironically, it brings rage over me.
Or dabbing
Stop flossing, you fucking cunt. You're 38. Yeah. You're 38. Stop the floss.
I can't grasp. But then you see people live. These are the same people, Danny. You go into their house and they have that painting on the wall that says,
live, laugh, love. Oh yeah. Oh, of course.
Just not with snakes around this town.
Never. Oh man,
I was raging. Rory Hanlon put up a picture the other day. Says beware of snakes, and everybody was like, "Oh, Australia, man, Australia." It was back and forth, and I wrote and I went, "Just me and the kids now." And he didn't reply. I was raging. I was like, "Come on, Rory."
Man, I used to work with lads, and I still follow them on Facebook. Man, I just followed them on Facebook because it's so fucking entertaining. But there's a couple of them that are just obsessed with betrayal, and it's like they think these are just fucking
obsessed with betrayal.
It's like they keep putting up all these like images of Al Pacino from Scarface.
Yeah,
and going,
yeah.
Never trust a snake, and I'm like, what? And like all these like, there's obviously having digs at other people in their family going, some people can be trusted, but blood will always be thicker than water.
There's all these memes. I've seen that, and there's a few of them, and I had to stop them because I would just start to...
Just ring someone if they're pissing you off. Stop passive aggressively trying to call them out through the medium of snake emojis.
Do you know... But do you know what?
Snake thing is amazing.
Do you know what it is? And I swear to God, even while I was standing there and I got us a tea and coffee, and I was standing for you were coming parking up, I was overhearing, as comedians do, we're nosy cunts, and we listen to every fucking person walking past. And I swear to God, every person walked past, they all were speaking like they were on a reality TV show.
Yeah.
It was all about relationships.
I blame Love Island, man.
Love Island, fucking the Kardashians, all these cunts. Like, I'm in the panto every year, and like, it's good old crack. There's a good old fucking banter with them, like. But the only conversations that seem to happen now, a lot of them are way younger than me, so but their whole conversations isn't like, hey Danny, do you remember that time we fucking got locked and fucking fell off? And it's all, come here, do you know what she's after fucking saying about you? Stop. And it's all this drama back and forth about relationships.
I had this conversation with someone in Galway just at the weekend, right? People are like, I don't watch, I just got rid of my Virgin Media box I wasn't using. I watch Netflix on my TV and fucking YouTube or whatever, a few of the apps or whatever, right? And I just found myself watching, I didn't watch any of that shit anyway, but I just found it was a complete waste of time, right? This shit of like people doing a job that they hate and living to drive home to watch Love Island and eat shit, eating fucking Chinese. I love food, man. Anyone that follows me on Instagram, you'll know what a fat fuck I am.
He loves a fucking egg.
But I love food more than anyone, and like I only go to the gym and stuff so I won't die young. And I love junk food, right? I'm not giving anyone shit. But man, if you keep working on something that you don't want to do, and you're getting home every night and you're watching Love Island and you're fucking shoveling shit into you, and that's your whole world and that's all that consumes, that's a really bad for your fucking head.
Oh, so what was it you said about addiction?
Yeah, but there's no...
It's addiction.
It's an addiction, but it's like, fuck me, man. I'm not saying go outside. Like, watch your programs and do your thing, but do something. Get a fucking hobby, man.
Yeah.
Talk to your mates. Even a WhatsApp group with your friends is more sociable. But living vicariously through these fucking vacuous fucking
cons.
They're not people, man. They're not humans, and it's just not reality.
Well, they are insulting to the human race.
Man, maybe we're getting old, man, but I find it just bothers me that this is like, we only get one go around the clock, and this is what
that's what you're going to do with your life.
This is what you're going to do with your life. But like, I'm not even saying I'm not saying go do comedy or play music, but do something that you love, or fucking travel, or read a fucking book, or climb a mountain, or go for a walk, or fucking drive, or there's so many things you can do. Go out, eat some food. Fucking go eat chicken nuggets, but go do it with your fucking mates. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Or if you're going to eat a load of shit and you want to watch something, get together with your friends. Don't all just be WhatsApping each other about Love Island, man. It's a depressing state of affairs.
You're shoveling your life into a fucking hole doing that shit. Like, I'm telling you now, I talked with Colgan about this, and it was almost, we sounded a bit conspiracy theorists, but it was like, if you do, it is a distraction method set up by the fucking, not set up by the government, but being almost facilitated by the government.
But it's such a shite
like,
distraction.
Keep people nice and stupid over there, and over here we'll just do
America, man.
Yeah, get them good and fat.
Dumb us down and make us forget about the fact that our economy is fucking starting to get on the toilet again. Also, that we've got the biggest rental crisis in the history of the state. There's people asleep on fucking trolleys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we've had fucking Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael who've destroyed us for the last 10 years, and they don't want us thinking outside that box. Go fucking vote for something different. Make a bit of positive change. Go out and do a fucking rally or a march for something. Do something.
Yeah.
But we're all being dumbed down by this shit, man, and it's wiping out our integrity as a country. Like, no one gives a fuck about Ireland anymore. And
there is,
they kicked off about the black and tan thing, which I thought was shit and really bad move on the behalf of fucking Leo Varadkar. I just don't understand why, in the name of fuck. I never talk about anything political on my shows or anything, but why would you do that?
It made no sense.
But then I'm thinking, is it just a distraction?
For sure
it's
it
a
is.
distraction away from the fact that, like, there's fucking homeless fucking 83-year-old women being found outside the GPO.
This shit, none of this shit happens by accident. I'm telling you, it doesn't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so he's probably sucking had that sheesh moment, as you said, going, all right, so what can we fucking do to draw the eye away from this? Because right now,
it's all deflection. Any of that stuff is just deflection, and it's like, I just think that like what can you do to make your life better, and what can you do to make your life better for people around you? Like, you know what I mean? Go create something and like make a change as well, man. Like I left my job nearly exactly 4 years ago. And the first year was the toughest year of my life.
Of course it was,
I had no money. I came out of a relationship, so all my rent and my bills doubled.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't, gigs weren't coming in. I couldn't get, the clubs are being the clubs. And, it was just tough. And you get through it. And now I'm like, Jesus, man, I'll never look back. So take a risk, you know what I mean? If you don't settle for mediocrity.
The amount of people that actually get in contact with and you don't think about this as I'm speaking on this podcast, but the amount of people that actually message going, hey, man, this fucking podcast is getting me through this shit. And it's like, well, if it gets you through, keep fucking pushing. Go on. Because like people have hellish jobs, like tough old fucking jobs too. Like, but also,
yeah, man. Like I worked in social care. You used to artificially inseminate pigs.
That's true. Yeah. So you can turn it around. You can turn it around
artificially and naturally.
I'm organic. What can I say? Good suffering fucking jeez. And then there is times with the old stand up, you're kind of going, because we've done a few of them gigs where you're standing.
Yeah. You're suicidal on the way home.
Darkness, my old friend.
You're just driving and you just go, do you know, I think I'll just turn off the lights and go into that tree.
Because you, like, and you try to take the good gigs, then you're like, because you have amazing gigs, you get really excited. You have terrible gigs, you're like, oh. But now, do you find you've numbed a small bit to even the great gigs? You're like, because around the corner, lads, there's a fucking shit gig waiting.
Sheesh is never far.
It's never far.
It's always near us. Like
sheesh as you pull out your collar.
Yeah,
woo!
It's close to us all the time. And yeah, you appreciate the good ones and you just take the bad ones on the chin. No one has a great day at work every day. Nah. They just don't.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
They're lying cunts if they say, See, dangerous things can be put up on Instagram because you see,
man, Instagram and
keeping it 100. Like it is.
Facebook and Instagram is what it is. I mainly look at motorbikes and food on Instagram. And I put stuff up on.
I look at Land Rover Defenders and food.
That's literally all I look at, and I love it for that. And it's something that's like a little hobby. And if I'm in between stuff and I'm looking for half an hour and it interests me, and I'm doing a motorbike, I'm doing the Nighthawk Cup. I'm actually cafe racer in it at the moment. Yeah,
deadly.
So I'm off the booze.
Are you giving it a starter switch?
Yeah. Priority number 1, ignition. I'm going back to ignition. Oh, I can't sing that now because of R. Kelly. Fuck you, R. Kelly. That would have been great on the gram as soon as I put the news in. It's just like, with a roll at that body and every man in your vision.
Yeah, Danny. It's inappropriate. Shit. Fucking R. Kelly by
Kelly.
How's he not done a lick of fucking time, the cunt?
Yeah, listen.
What's going on?
Yeah, well, like, you know what I mean? Look what it is. Fucking, like, look around. Look at McGregor. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, look around, man.
Moolah will get you through it. Like.
Absolutely.
And all you have to do then is praise God, and you'll be out the fucking gate.
You'll do nothing. Do nothing, cunts.
Yeah, do nothing.
Imagine.
Yeah. He's a fucking phenomenon, man. Phenomenon, isn't he?
I can't. I don't want to give him any airtime. I can't give him any of my time. No. Honestly, I'm out. Katie Taylor for me is an absolute hero. She's what Ireland needs. She's honestly, and it's not even a Wicklow thing, man. She's from Bray. Bray's not even Wicklow. It's its own mental entity.
It is, yeah.
But I follow her on Instagram, and if you don't follow Katie Taylor on Instagram,
she's so clean.
Her. But she's so dedicated, man.
Yeah,
like,
she's the purest form of an athlete.
Like, it's 2 days after she won that last belt, she put up a photo of a black eye she was after getting in training 2 days later. Yeah. And she's back in a shed.
Animal.
Like, absolutely. And I actually was a musician I was with in Dubai called Pete, lovely dude. And he was telling me his mate is a big fella, does a bit of boxing. And he sparred with Katie, right?
Yeah.
And he said he has never been hit as hard in his life as he was hit by her. He said it was literally like 2 seconds of and he said it was like 14 lads with like snooker balls and socks hitting them at the same time.
Oh, man.
And this fella's in shape. He's a big dude, you know what I mean? He's able to box and stuff like that. And he said it was just fucking one, and he said he was just like.
But she doesn't get the credit she's fucking due.
No,
like,
she deserves so much more. And I know lads are always so fucking weird with female. Like there's not a male boxer that has an absolute tap on her in this country.
But I said it. I do this. I've done this bit in the last maybe. It was relative to it was. I haven't done it in a while because I suppose it's not relevant. But it was relative to my wife being pregnant or whatever, and how people were going, "You guys are pregnant." I'm like, what? No, she's pregnant.
Yeah.
You know. But also, and it's like you can see the
I'm
audience.
eating skips.
Yeah, I'm eating skips. I could do cocaine in Carlsberg right now if I wanted.
Yeah.
But
Wouldn't affect the baby. The relationship,
Yeah.
not the baby.
But I'd go on about, look, and you can see people pulling back on
Carlsberg and cocaine, a Tipperary story.
I got that tattooed on my shoulder. But I go into just basically going, because you can see people pulling back a bit, going, I think he's been an unsupportive cunt. I go, no, look, I'll explain it to you, right? Katie Taylor, imagine if she had a boyfriend. Her boyfriend went, I think you're fine, we're both world champion. That's the bit.
Yeah.
But when I go, she is the greatest combat sports person we have ever fucking had. Yeah. And you can see people kind of go, I don't know. You go, no, there's no argument.
It's undeniable.
If she fights a cow next, that's the next thing she has to do.
It's undeniable, man. She has 5 fucking belts.
But she's won everything. The world, amateur through to the Olympics. She's won everything.
For those of you listening, 2 of the most inspirational things that I've watched in the last year. One was the Katie documentary.
Brilliant,
that's
yeah,
on
yeah.
Netflix. And the second one was the Kevin Hart, Don't Fuck This Up. Now, I'm not a big fan of his comedy style. It's just not for me. I appreciate him as a performer, though. But if you watch his documentary, man, I thought I worked hard. And fuck, we were just talking about people hitting cars, and that one was just after hitting that car right in front of us.
Yeah.
What's the reg there? Okay, I'll put that on Instagram. And
big fat arsenal just plowed.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But anyway, he the hustle man, mother of God. Now the dude, he's an extremist but you've never seen work ethic like it in your fucking life.
You could see how it would snowball into that one, because I watched it and I'm kind of going, how did it? But then when you do have 5 PAs around you, and there's almost like, Kevin, yes, we can do that.
But it's pressure. But he's built that from nothing.
Oh yeah.
And it's.
It's inspirational shit to watch.
If you're feeling a bit low and you're a bit lost and you're like, I need a bit of a fire lit under my arse.
Yeah.
The best fire I got lit under my arse was being broke.
Yeah.
And shitting it and going, I'm not going to be able to pay my fucking rent.
Yeah.
I don't have any fucking rich family or anything like that. There's no fucking, unless there's some secret aunt out there listening who wants to leave me a gaff. You know what I mean? But I've nothing, just whatever I make is whatever I make. That's it. But there's nothing, you need that, or having a kid, you know what I mean? You need that fucking, right, it's time to fucking go. I need to build something for this kid.
Yeah.
Or I need to build something for myself. I need to make we've no pension. I don't have a pension. I just have to, I have to work. I remember talking to my accountant about this, and all my mates with real jobs in the bank and stuff like, oh, you don't have a pension? Oh my God, I can't believe you don't have a pension.
Yeah. No, dude, you don't have a pension either. Your fucking company set a pension up.
Exactly.
But
you
don't have.
They're giving me all this, being shitty to me about it, and I can't believe you don't have a pension, because they're fucking pissed off because they hate their job, so they want you to be pissed off.
Yeah.
And I met my accountant, and he's a legend, right? We're sitting across, and I was like, oh, Peter, should I get a pension?
Yeah.
And he just goes, he's just sitting there in this super dry hoodie, right? He's just a gas bastard. He just goes, Danny, pensions are for pricks, right? Across the desk.
What a salesman.
And then he goes, buy an apartment, live in it. When you're too old to live in it, sell it. There's your pension. And that, for me, has been the best advice that I've got in a long time.
Grand.
Yeah.
Making me feel good about myself.
Buy a gaff, live in it till you're too old and fuck to live in it. Move in with your kids, sell the gaff, live your best life.
Fucking hell.
There you go.
On that note, you have to go out west at the minute once again. Like, there's no...
I know.
And this is beautiful. It's great. I'm heading in the other fucking direction. That's,
like 2 lads in the Ra in the 80s just meeting in Liffey Valley.
I know,
and then go different directions.
All right, you take the timer. I'll send Johnny Semtex over to meet you.
And the thing looks like a timer, the podcast device here on the dash.
And we didn't get into any of your Love in Dublin fucking... You're a reviewer for Love in Dublin, which is...
Lovin.ie.
Lovin.ie. Yeah. So but you're the grub side of things. You're not going...
No. I just...
Now, did they insist... I'll quickly ask, did they insist every article has to start with we? Do you know the way we...
No, not at all. It's all I.
Good.
I start off with, super hungover. I just say, haven't been here since, or I just say, why I'm there.
Yeah.
And I'm usually doing a review because I'm on tour there as well, because obviously it makes sense to be there. But, if anyone, it kind of became a hobby that turned into a fucking... into a bit of work. That's kind of like a side hustle. I actually love it. And it's kind of good for my brain to be writing something that's something to do with comedy, and I can kind of get a few laughs out of the review, because I write it as I would nearly do stand-up.
Yeah. But there's a reason why they didn't hire you, because you like food.
Yeah, but I write it the way I'd want to hear something.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear the wank about anything. I don't want to hear, is this blah blah blah? Use beautiful like eloquence. I just go.
And we are blown away.
Yeah, no, I just and I'm honest about it, man. I don't bullshit. Like, and if something's great, I'll say it's great.
Yeah.
But if it's not, there's no favors. It's like, and most of the places I go are savage because I talk to people from Mayo or Westport or Galway, and I say, where's the best? And I talk to 3 or 4 people. I talk to people after shows, and I got some whopper. Like the last one I did was a Moroccan in Castlebar. Can you believe it?
Go away.
Yeah, and a fella called Mustafa who's been there for 20 years, and he's originally he's from Algeria originally, and I was in Morocco for a week, man. And the stuff he gave me was honestly as good as, if not better than the stuff I was eating in Marrakesh. Castlebar. There's some gems around Ireland.
Castlebar.
Yeah.
The North Africa of Ireland.
The North Africa of Southeast Mayo.
So loving.ie, and you have, like, you're still got a ton of Reformers, the name of your latest show.
Yeah, I've another 20. I think I've about 20 more Irish dates to do. This show is actually going to New Zealand now. It got picked up to go to New Zealand Comedy Festival. So I'll be there for 5 weeks, and then so it's on tour this weekend. I will be on where am I going to be on Thursday? I'm going to be in Derry. Friday I'm going to be in Cavanagh's in Portlaoise. That's nearly sold out.
Brilliant.
At Tullamore is actually, I've never gigged. I did a support with Dermot and Dave in Tullamore, but I've never done a solo in Tullamore, and that's nearly sold out.
Where's that in Tullamore?
Hugh Lynch's.
All right,
Savage venue. I called into the lads in there. Emmett runs that, and it's savage. So so grab your tickets for that if you're from Portlaoise or Tullamore or anywhere in
Is there any? Have you a website with Collective Place?
All the tour venues are all on my website, which is DannyO'BrienComedy.com, and you can usually get them through that link is through my Instagram as well.
Grant, I'll put that in the show notes down the bottom anyway. So just click through. 20 more dates. They're going to find
The show sold out the Fringe for 26 nights. It sold out Galway Arts Festival. It sold out Whelan's last night. It sold out Galway on Saturday. It's sold out Ennis. It's
and next to no complaints. So that's
it's going up. I'm not getting tweeted by any fucking woke cunt pricks.
Yeah.
So and here's another bit of advice from me and Tom as well. Stay off Twitter.
Yeah.
If you want to look at Twitter for like news or football or something like that, but stop. Like if you're living on Twitter, you're literally living your worst life. Yeah. It's probably the worst place on the internet to be.
What is it called? It's a fucking dumpster fire. Is what it is.
It is. There and FetLife. If you want to see FetLife, it is one of the grimmest things I've ever seen. It's like Bebo for people with fetishes. Just have a look at it. Oh man. It's all like
I don't want to have a look now.
All the profiles are like gimp masks. It's like
do you know who they are? They're all your cunts who work in the bank with fucking pensions. That's who they are.
At the weekend, fucking strangle wanking with belts listening to In Excess.
Just getting the lad better.
New sensation.
Lad
gotta get that bonus, big man.
With a fucking toilet brush, getting the cock fucking pulled off him. All right, Dan. This has been absolutely class.
Thanks, man.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And my thanks again to Danny. Thank you very, very much. That was a good one, wasn't it? Huh? Albeit we were in the car park like a couple of weirdos over in Liffey Valley. So check out his tour. There's still 20 dates left on it of his Reformer tour. Look for Danny O'Brien Comedy everywhere. He's everywhere right now. And you'll find it. You won't be sorry. It's selling out everywhere it goes. So it's a brilliant, brilliant show. My thanks again to everybody for listening, and all the Patreons, all the people who have subscribed. And make sure and hit rate and review if you're listening on iTunes/Apple Podcasts, because that lets more people find the fucking thing. Do you know what I mean? Leave them 5 stars. Leave 5 stars on the thing. Also, just in your ear holes, if you haven't been listening and you're brand new to this and you've come out of nowhere, brand new podcast with myself, Owen Colgan, called Harden Up Podcast. That's out on Thursday. So there's 2 episodes out already, and there'll be another one out this week. So go on away, suffer through the week, lads. I'll talk to you again on Friday.